This channel wouldn't be possible without the support from you guys. And if you're looking for an easy way to help support the channel, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And another easy way to help out the channel is by supporting me directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and the best way to help grow this channel is with the help of you guys. This video is sponsored by Collect Edition. They have a huge commander inventory and worldwide shipping, so check them out with the link in the description. A lot of Magic the Gathering players ask the question, how can I have fun, win games, and not spend $1 billion on a commander deck? Well, the answer is easy. You can't. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Ha! Just kidding. It was an elaborate ruse. Well, to build a competitive budget deck, you gotta start with the foundation, the base, the support, the bottom, and other synonyms. Your commander. You want something that is strong but cheap, and Chainer is the perfect example of that. He's already known to be pretty scary, and he goes around for $1.
Nice.
You want to know what other commander I can buy for $1? Not Urza. In fact, most staples that go into Chainer are really cheap to start with, so that really helps. Chainer, Nightmare Adept. He's a 4-mana 3/2 human minion. Discard a card. You may cast a creature card from your graveyard this turn. Activate this ability only once each turn. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, if you didn't cast it from your hand, it gains haste until end of turn. So what's the theme of the deck? Well, it's a Rakdos Mill Monkey Tribal Life Gain deck, obviously.
Okay.
Lol, it's a Rakdos Reanimate deck. Duh. First off, we're gonna take a look at our graveyard. Shenanigans. Then we take a look at the tools that we have in our toolbox. Then we take a look at our late game shenanigans. And to finish off, we're gonna take a look at the non-budget options I would consider for the rich bitches out there. Like I said in my previous Corval video, you guys should check that out. It's pretty good. I started playing budget decks with my playgroup. We set a limit of $50 and base our price on the lowest price Moxfield gives us, and man, it's so fun. I feel like I'm rediscovering Commander all over again. We get to see a bunch of new cards that we would never play in normal Commander, and the best part, no freaking Cyclonic Rift. Now if that doesn't butter your egg roll, I don't know what will. What? So let's begin. First off, graveyard shenanigans. We play lesbians. Discard 2 cards, draw 3 cards. That's pretty good. And faceless looting. Discard 2 cards, draw 2 cards. Flashback. Pretty good. Doom Necromancer and Apprentice Necromancer are amazing with Chainer. Pay 1 to tap, sacrifice Doom Necromancer, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Or pay 1 to tap, sacrifice Apprentice Necromancer, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield, that creature again ace, and sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. These guys are bonkers because you can just reanimate them for super cheap and activate them with haste and bring back something more expensive. How smart is that? Mathematician. Bone Mister, I'd say one of the most expensive cards in this deck, but with all the discard you're going to be playing, you have to play discard. See what I did there? He's a 5-mana 4/4 zombie wizard. Whenever you discard a creature card, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Whenever you discard a land card, add 2 black mana to your mana pool. Whenever you discard a non-creature, non-land card, draw a card. And surely, Bajazor, surely you've never heard of this card. He's a 4-mana 3/3 Badger Dinosaur. Ugh, come on, just make it a Badger or a Dinosaur. What? Why? Whenever you discard a creature card, put a +1/+1 counter on Shirley Bajazor. Whenever you discard a land card, create a treasure token. And whenever you discard a non-creature, non-land card, Shirley Bajazor fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. So another one that adds value each time you discard stuff. So like, each freaking turn, dude? Yeah. If you want to abuse your ETBs, you have to play a lot of sack outlets. Viscera Seer is bonkers in Commander, and he's bonkers in budget as well. I mean, 1-mana sack outlet. Uno Manato. Is that Spanish?
Trust me.
Ooh, and a newer card, Immersturm Predator. This is bonkers. He's a 4-mana 3/3 Vampire Dragon. Okay, that's awesome. Flying. Whenever Immersturm Predator becomes tapped, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard and put a +1/+1 counter on Immersturm Predator. Sacrifice another creature. Immersturm Predator gains indestructible until end of turn. Tap it. Welcome to McDonald's. Can I take your order? Hi, I'll take a Immerstern Predator, yeah, 3/3 Flying Vampire Dragon, and can I get some counters on that, and maybe exile stuff from graveyards as well, and can I have a sack outlet on that as well too, and can I gain Indestructible as well?
What a stupid idea!
Yes, would that be all? We play quite a few tutors in this deck, and they happen to be pretty freaking affordable. Gravebreaker Lamia is gonna break your grave, but not your bank. She's a 5-mana 4/4 lifelink Snake Lamia. Whenever Gravebreaker Lamia enters the battlefield, you should prefer card, put a card into your graveyard. Spells you cast from your graveyard cost 1 less to cast. Hey, that's pretty good with Chainer. And the new and improved Runes Card Demon, Burning Rune Demon. He's a 6-mana 6/6 Flying Demon Berserker. When he enters the battlefield, search your library for 2 creature cards. Your opponent put 1 in your hand and 1 in your graveyard. Here's a secret. It doesn't matter if your creature goes in your graveyard. We're gonna bring it back anyways. Next up, our toolbox. We have answers for everything in here. First off, Shriekmaw enters the battlefield, destroy target non-artifact, non-black creature. Do we have better than that? Ravenous Chupacabra enters the battlefield, destroy target creature and opponent controls. Do we have better than that? Duplicant enters the battlefield, exiles a creature. Do we have better than that? Meteor Golem enters the battlefield, destroy target non-land permanent and opponent controls.
I surrender!
Yes, hello. My opponent is playing 1 billion tokens and I do not know what to do.
Play Massacre Girl. This bitch is like 35 cents. She's a 5-mana 4/4 human assassin. Menace. When Massacre Girl enters the battlefield, each other creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. Whenever a creature dies this turn, each creature other than Massacre Girl gets -1/-1 until end of turn. Oh, here's another big one. Archfiend of Ifnir. He's a 5-mana 5/4 flying demon. Whenever you discard another card, put a -1/-1 counter on each creature your opponents control. You can only discard 1 card per turn with Chainer, but you can do it at instant speed and during each opponent's turn, making the Archfiend of Ifnir pretty dangerous. Hi, creature removal is good, but what about artifacts? Ingot Chewer, he's a 3/3 elemental for 5. Ugh. Enters the battlefield, destroy target artifact, but you can evoke him for 1 and you can cast him over and over again each turn for 1.
Wow.
Now, what about card draw? Play them on creatures so you can abuse them. Disciple of Bolas, he's a 4-mana 2/1 human wizard. When he enters the battlefield, sacrifice another creature, you gain X life and draw X card, where X is that creature's power. And Magus of the Wheel, 3-mana 3/3 human wizard, pay 2, tap, Wheel of Fortune. Here's the thing, you always have to wait a full turn before you can activate him because he doesn't have haste, but if you reanimate him, he has haste, so hey, there you go. Now some more card draw with Bleegand Lord Belzencrotch.
Who are you?
He's a 6-mana 6/6 flying trample. Sheesh, magic sure has changed. When Bleegand Lord Belzencrotch enters the battlefield, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card. Then put that card into your hand. If the card's converted mana cost is 4 or greater, repeat this process. Bleegand Lord Belzencrotch deals 1 damage to you for each card put into your hand this way. How about some ramp? Budget or not, Solem is the man. Reprint after reprint, put Solem in the budget category now.
Thanks.
It's kinda sad, but it's kinda cool. How about some chaos? This guy, Cardor Doomscourge. He's a 4-mana 4/3. When Cardor Doomscourge enters the battlefield, until your next turn, creatures your opponent control attacks each turn if able and attack a player other than you if able, so technically goads all your opponents. Whenever an attacking creature dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. I love this card. Goading is one of my favorite abilities, and sacrificing him and casting him over and over again each turn, yeah, it's really annoying and it's really good. Playing versus an annoying control deck? Hope of Girapur is here to save the day. He's a 1-mana 1/1 flying Topter. Sacrifice Hope of Girapur. Until your next turn, target player who was dealt combat damage by Hope of Girapur this turn can't cast non-creature spells. Oh, nice control deck, bro. Good luck casting cards. Now for our late game / finishers / big spells. Oui, fromage. Natalie, Primal Storm, 6-mana 6/6. When Natalie attacks, exile the top cards of each player's library, then you may cast any number of spells from among them without paying their mana cost. There is one downside to Natalie, is that he doesn't have haste, but
Wait a minute.
if you reanimate him with Chainer, Hey, Game Merchant, one of my favorite finishers. I mean, cast him, sack him, reanimate him, turn after turn. You better deal with it or you're gonna die.
That's a lot of damage!
Sepulchral Primordial. Hey, wizards, it's primordial that you don't make these names so freaking complicated, okay? When this jabroni enters the battlefield, for each opponent, you may put up to one target creature card from that player's graveyard under your control. And you know what? They're all gonna have haste if you have Chainer. Yeah, it's pretty bonkers. Living Death is another big card in our budget deck. It's a 5 mana. Each player exiles all creature cards from his or her graveyard and sacrifices all the creatures he or she controls, then put all the cards exiled this way onto the battlefield. Now here's the thing, if you reanimate Chainer with this, all your creatures will have haste. So yeah,
I'll be back.
pretty game ending. Now with all this back and forth, Flayer of the Hatebound is a must. He's a 6 mana 4/2 Undying. Whenever Flayer of the Hatebound or another creature enters the battlefield from your graveyard, that creature deals damage equal to its power to any target. Another one that finishes the game pretty quickly with a mass reanimate spell, or even then, it's just bonkers on its own. It's really good. And probably the best budget board wipe out there in Garruk's wake. Destroy all creatures you don't control and all planeswalkers you don't control.
Can you feel the tension in the air right now?
Yes, it costs 9, but this is late game budget. We're gonna get there, don't worry. Now if you don't want to go budget, there's a couple of great cards I'd consider playing. But first off, the budget lands are So if you're planning going full commander, I recommend you change the lands first things first. From fetches, the shocks, the Cabal, and Urborg, this jumps the price by $1 billion alone, but that's the commander life. Another thing that jumps the price is the price of tutors. There's a lot and they're expensive. Vampiric Gamble is really sweet as well. Search your library for your card, then you discard a card at random. Doesn't matter if you discard it, you can just replay it if it's a creature. So yeah, pretty good. And Entome, search your library for a card, put that card into your graveyard, and shuffle your library. Technically, almost better than Vampiric Tutor in a Chainer deck, I'd say. But here's the thing, like we're over $100 with just these 3 cards, and I didn't even mention Demonic Tutor.
That's crazy.
So yeah, tutors, expensive. Another thing to upgrade is the sack outlets. I got all the cheapest and most effective ones, but there's a lot and they're a lot better than the budget ones, like Altar of Dementia. It's a 2 mana artifact, sacrifice a creature. Target player puts a number of cards equal to the sacrificed creature's power from the top of their library into their graveyard. So yeah, fills your graveyard for days. Casting Kokusho each turn is pretty good. He's a 6 mana 5/5 flying dragon. When Kokusho dies, each opponent loses 5 life. You gain life equal to the life lost this way. He's like the more expensive version of Game Merchant, and sometimes Game Merchant is even better. But, you know, just play both. End of story. Croxa. 2 mana, 6/6. When he enters the battlefield, sacrifice him unless he escaped. When he enters the battlefield or attacks, each opponent discards a card. Then each player who didn't discard a non-land card this way loses 3 life. Here's the thing, you can just cast this guy over and over again, each turn with Chainer for 2 mana. You gotta get rid of Chainer because it's gonna be pretty annoying. And my new best friend, Terror of the Peaks. He's a 5 mana, 5/4 flying dragon. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Terror of the Peaks deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target. So yeah, casting Croxa for 2 each turn and dealing 6 damage in the process. Yes.
Ouch!
A couple of mass reanimates in Rise of the Dark Realms, and get all the creatures, or Agadim's Awakening, get all your creatures. Both of these pretty expensive, but you gotta play them. And Dockside, because if you play red, no matter the deck, Docky needs a spot. You can make a ridiculous amount of treasures if you cast them each freaking turn for 2, so yeah. $50? Yeah, that's the price of my budget deck, but you gotta play him. So that's it for Chainer, budget or not, the power level is real. And since I love this $50 budget format, I'll probably be posting more budget decks in the future, so stay tuned, and don't forget, we're here for a silly goose time, and that's it. Goodbye.